Hey guys, I apologise in advance. This isn't going to be like one of my normal videos, and I'm not a vlogger either, so this is probably going to be just a complete ramble. But I want to talk about depression because 2 weeks ago I was diagnosed with depression. I went to the doctor because my family had started to notice that over the last 6 months or so I just haven't been who they would consider to be myself. Ellie had noticed it too, and you know, she's the most important person in my life, so for her to notice that I'm not myself is a pretty big alarm bell. I'm normally, normal Liam is happy-go-lucky, always smiling, always laughing, and over the last 6 months, maybe even a year, I've just slowly but surely just spiraled down into this kind of abyss where, yes, to other people I'm snappy, I'm irritable, I'm aggressive, and when I'm on my own, I'm mopey and sad and demotivated, basically. There are days where it's 2015 and not 1960, so as a man I can quite happily say this, that there are days where I just cry. And some days I know why, some days it's because I have financial problems that seem to not be something I can sort out anytime soon. And even though I can see the end goal and I have a goal in sight and I'm working towards it, the end just seems a million miles away. And it's kind of like, I cry because I'm like, oh, I'll be in debt forever kind of thing. But other days I cry and I can't explain why. Other days I cry and I sit and I think, why am I crying? And I don't know why. I just feel sad for no reason. There's something that I've bottled up, because I bottle everything up. Something in the back of my mind has gone, and the tears come, and I don't know why. And when I explained all this to the doctor, she straight away said, "You've got depression, Liam. You're showing classic signs of depression." After hearing her diagnosis, I kind of get it. I understand. I took a step back and looked at myself, and I thought, yeah, something's not right. Something's not quite working in my head, or how, I don't really know a lot about depression. My mum had depression many years ago when her and my dad's marriage broke up, but that didn't, she still went to work and things like that. She has 3 jobs and she still goes to work even now with depression. And I've seen my brother, he's got such severe depression, it's pretty much crippled him. He's completely shut himself off from the world almost. And so I always felt like when I was feeling sad, I always thought to myself, well, I haven't got depression because I'm not as bad as my brother, I'm not as bad as my mum, I don't feel half as bad as they feel. But I didn't realise that maybe it's not a measure of how bad you feel compared to other people. It's how bad you feel compared to your normal day-to-day self. It's not a case of I'm not as sad as my mum. It's I'm a lot sadder and more depressed than Liam normally is. My personality has taken a shocking change over the past 6 months. It's been gradual, but I've just become more and more depressed, and it's crept up on me. I'll be honest. I've probably shied away from it, and I've probably told myself, oh, I couldn't be depressed. I can't be depressed. But I've finally had to admit to myself I am depressed, and I now have to take a sertraline tablet every day because that's what's hopefully going to be the antidepressant that makes me feel positive again and makes me, forget all the weird sadness that I can't seem to come to terms with. I can't really explain. I know that my debt and my financial problems, I know that makes me sad, and I know that it can seem like a never-ending cycle of, I get close to paying some of my debts off and then something else pops up, like something goes wrong with the car. For example, I got close to paying some of my debts off and then the lease ended on my car and I had to give it back. And on the day that they came to collect the car, they said one of the tyres wasn't up to code, so they weren't going to collect it. And I had to pay £150 just of a cancellation fee for them to say they're not taking the car that day and to rearrange it like that. How that's a freaking decent admin fee, I don't know, but that's a story for another day. But then, because of that, I ended up having to pay £274 plus just to give the car back. And, you know, then that money that was going to go towards my debts hasn't gone on my debts. It's gone on giving that freaking car back. And it just pushes my debt goal further away. And, you know, my debt goal needs to be clear because I want to move into my own house with Ellie in a year's time, or less than a year's time if that was ever a possibility. But it makes me sad because it's unlikely that any time in the next year I'm going to be moving out. It's going to be at least a year before me and Ellie can get a place. And it sucks because there's not enough space at my mum's house, and we're tripping over each other in here, and it'd just be great to have our own place. But that's, again, it's not something that can readily be fixed. It can't be fixed instantly. So I don't know, sorry, I just destroyed the camera. It's not something that can readily be fixed. So I can't understand why I get depressed about it, because it should just be at the back of my mind and just, out of sight, out of mind. We'll deal with it when we come to it. But shit just gets on top of me. It's as simple as that. And I suppose I'm making this video because I know there are other people out there with depression. There are millions of people out there with depression. And if any of you guys out there that suffer with depression or know anybody that has been affected by depression, I'd love for you guys to get in touch. Obviously, leave me a comment on this video or get in touch with me on Twitter, because that's normally the easiest way to get a hold of me. And just, give me tips. If it's not too much trouble, just, let me know some tips on how you guys deal with your depression, any techniques, because I can't understand it. I get so confused by it. I get confused by the fact that I can understand, the going to work and struggling to get out of bed to go to work, and the struggling with work in general, because it's not something I choose to do, it's something I have to do. So I can understand why the depression should have such an effect on my work motivation. But it's my personal motivation that I really struggle to come to terms with, because why is it that my videos, for example, that I love making, I love doing top 10 lists and everything, I love all that stuff, I love my Nuzlocke videos, why is it I struggle to find motivation to do those when that's something I get enjoyment from? And I know I'm going to get enjoyment from, so why does my mind go, I just don't feel like doing that? It just doesn't make sense to me. And, it gets me down even more. It's like a cycle. My depression stops me from doing the things I want to do, and therefore I then don't do the things that I enjoy, so then I feel more depressed that I haven't done them and I've wasted my day. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So if you guys have any answers, I'd love to hear them. And if any of you guys are suffering from depression and you don't have answers, but you just want to talk to somebody, talk to me. I'm pretty easygoing when I'm not, bawling my eyes out. But you guys will never see that, because I don't want to put that on a video, because I don't know, it's just not something I would do. But yeah, so this has been a really pointless ramble. Well, not pointless. It has its meaning. I appreciate every person that watches this video, and anybody that is subscribed to me. You guys are like friends to me, so that's how I look at it. And if you guys, are my friends, I'm gonna tell you about my problems and stuff. And I don't know. I'm not going to do regular vlogs. I don't know if I'm going to do regular vlogs, because I'm probably really boring. And if you've watched this far, thanks. I really appreciate that. But I don't know. But I'll at least probably in the next few months or so, once I know more about my depression, and once I've had follow-ups with the doctor and stuff, I'll probably get in touch to give you an update on how I'm doing. But I don't know. I really don't know. I don't understand it, and it's not something I'm going to have the answers for straight away. But thank you guys for just listening to me. It's good just to let it all out and get things off my chest. So I really appreciate you guys for listening. So I'm AceTrainerLiam. Keep on training. For those of you who don't watch my videos, that's normally how I end them. But yeah, just drop me a comment, drop me a tweet. let me know what your experiences of depression are, and let's see if we can't kick this thing. Thanks for listening.